Commander Zax Thule of the Vorthak Empire adjusted his crystalline neural interface as the holographic display showed the third planet from the yellow star. Earth, they called it. His mandibles clicked in what his species considered amusement. "These humans," he said to his tactical officer. "They still use chemical propulsion. Their fastest vessels barely reach a fraction of light speed. They haven't even achieved proper fusion mastery." He gestured dismissively at the primitive satellites orbiting the blue world. "It will take perhaps 3 rotations to subjugate them completely." The Vorthak had conquered 17 star systems in the past century. Each species had fallen within days of first contact, their primitive technologies no match for Vorthak plasma weaponry and quantum phase shields. Earth would be no different. "Sir," his communications officer interrupted, "we're receiving a transmission from the planetary surface." "Put it through," Zax Thule commanded. The face that appeared was bipedal, covered in pink flesh with small, optical organs. It spoke in what their translators identified as the dominant language. "This is Secretary General Chen of the United Nations. We have received your ultimatum. We request a 24-hour period to consider our response." Zax Thule's throat sacs inflated with laughter. 24 of their day cycles? Very well, it matters not. Use this time to prepare your surrender documents, primitive. What the Vorthak commander didn't understand was that humanity had been preparing for this moment for 70 years. In underground facilities across 6 continents, Director Sarah Martinez of the Titan Protocol stood before a massive assembly of engineers, scientists, and military personnel. The cavernous space hummed with barely contained energy. "Ladies and gentlemen," she announced, "this is what we've been preparing for. Operation Prometheus is now active. Since 1947, humanity had been reverse engineering crashed alien technology from dozens of species who had made the mistake of underestimating Earth's gravity well and atmospheric conditions. What the galactic community saw as primitive chemical rockets were actually an elaborate deception. Humanity had quantum drives. They had plasma weaponry. They had shield technology that could withstand neutron star bombardment. But more importantly, they had something no other species possessed: the ability to mass-produce with terrifying efficiency. Dr. James Okafor, head of Applied Xenotechnology, pulled up holographic schematics. "The modular ship designs are ready. Each manufacturing hub can produce 1 complete vessel every 30 minutes using our automated assembly matrices." "How many hubs are operational?" Martinez asked. 247, ma'am. Across all continents, including the underwater facilities." Martinez did the math. In 24 hours, they could build over 11,000 ships, but that wasn't the shocking part. "And the crew situation?" "That's where it gets interesting," Dr. Okafor smiled. "We've been training pilots in neural simulation for decades. Every person who thought they were playing video games was actually training on real ship interfaces. We have over 2 billion certified pilots ready for combat." In orbit, Commander Zax Thule reviewed his fleet of 300 vessels, the largest armada the Vorthak had ever assembled. No planet had ever required more than 50 ships to conquer. His tactical display suddenly erupted in warnings. "Sir," his sensor operator's voice trembled, "I'm detecting massive energy signatures from the planet's surface. Impossible. Show me." The display zoomed in on Earth's continents. Across every landmass, enormous structures were rising from what had appeared to be ordinary terrain. Massive manufacturing complexes that their scans had somehow completely missed. "How did we not detect these facilities?" "Sir, they appear to be using some kind of quantum masking technology. Our sensors are only picking them up now because of the enormous energy expenditure." Zax Thule watched in growing disbelief as the first ships began emerging from launch bays. They were sleek, angular vessels that his tactical computer couldn't classify. His empire's database contained information on every known starship design in the galaxy, but these were completely alien. "Analysis," he barked. "Sir, the ships appear to be utilizing quantum tunnel drives. Energy signatures suggest plasma weaponry, At least 3 generations beyond our own. And sir, the officer paused. There are a lot of them. Within 6 hours, Zaxthul's fleet was surrounded. What had started as a few dozen ships emerging from Earth had become thousands, then tens of thousands. His sensors couldn't even maintain accurate counts anymore. A new transmission came from Earth. This time it was a different human, older, wearing what appeared to be a military uniform covered in decorative metals. Commander Zaxthul, this is Admiral Rebecca Torres of the Earth Defense Fleet. We've considered your ultimatum. Your defense fleet? Zaxthul's voice cracked. Our response is simple. You have 1 hour to withdraw beyond the edge of our solar system. If you refuse, we will demonstrate why every other species that has visited our planet chose to leave it alone. You lie. We've scanned your world. You have primitive technology. Admiral Torres smiled, and Zaxthul felt something cold creep up his spine. Commander, let me share something about humans. We've been preparing for war since we discovered fire. The only thing we do better than fighting is building things to fight with. You want to see our real technology? The hologram shifted to show Earth from orbit. Across the planet's surface, what Zaxthul had assumed were cities began to transform. Massive defensive installations rose from the ground. Orbital platforms materialized as their cloaking systems deactivated. The entire planet was a fortress. We've been watching your empire expand for decades, Torres continued. We've studied every ship you build, every weapon you use, every tactic you employ, and we've been building counters to all of it. This is impossible, Zaxthul whispered. Commander, you made the same mistake everyone makes about humans. You assumed that what you could see was all there was. But we're not just primitive apes who got lucky. We're the species that turned war into an art form, industry into a religion, and preparation into a survival trait. As if to emphasize her point, additional fleets began emerging from the far side of Earth's moon, from hidden asteroid bases, from cloaked stations throughout the solar system. You have 57 minutes remaining, Torres said calmly. Zaxthul turned to his navigation officer. Set course for the edge of the system. Maximum velocity. Sir? You heard the Admiral. We're leaving, and we're updating the Galactic database. Earth is to be classified as a fortress world. No species is to approach this system without explicit invitation. As the Vorthak fleet retreated, a single message followed them, broadcast on all frequencies in every known galactic language. Earth is under the protection of humanity. We are not primitive. We are not helpless. We are not interested in conquest. But if you threaten our home, you will discover why we are the only species in the galaxy that has never been successfully invaded. The message was signed simply, the Primitives. Within a year, the galactic community had reclassified humanity from primitive species to do not engage status. Earth became known throughout the galaxy not as a backwater world, but as the planet that built a fleet overnight and made the mighty Vorthak Empire retreat without firing a single shot. And in the underground facilities of Earth, humanity continued building, continued preparing, and continued to smile at the thought of anyone calling them primitive.